Good evening. So, people have been asking for solutions, right? And I would say to that, a solution to what, right? So, I suppose, will I turn the light on? Behold, right? A solution to what? If you're talking about a solution to upending this government, right? This thing is so entrenched that it goes beyond, I won't say definitively, right? But it goes beyond the ability of one act to get rid of it, right? It'll have to be a death by a thousand cuts sort of approach to this. And I would say also that the solution to this mess is the very cause that led to this mess. It's you. It's you and me, right? It's you and me and every single individual person, right? You don't need all of them. But you can look at this thing in any kind of scale of where the problem is, right? And it seems to be so entrenched that it's after poisoning every layer of the soil of society, right? So Martin Heidegger, German philosopher, signed off, right, on his life, speaking about the modernization of the world and the impact newspapers and media and stuff will have on people's ability to think individually, right? And he said, he gave an interview to Der Spiegel, right, a German paper or a German magazine or whatever. And he gave the interview, but he said, please don't release this until I'm dead. And in the end of it, he said, only a God can save us, right? Now, I'm not suggesting that we wait around for the end times. I'm not saying that at all. And I don't think he was either. I think he was speaking of God not as some ethereal being, right? Although he may have some sort of view of it like that. But I think what he was speaking of was a monumental shift in focus, not just in a nation, but in the individual people, right? Because it was about the individual. So a God is the most important thing in your life, okay? The thing you dedicate. Every time you spend time doing something, you're praying to it, essentially. You're dedicating time. You're performing a ritual to whatever that thing is, right? So if you spend all of your time whittling hand figures, right? That is your deity, right? The deity of creativity, the deity of workmanship, that kind of thing, right? So when you're looking around at this chaos that is in Ireland at the moment, you look at a story here, a story there, a story there, a story there, and you want to react to all of it, right? But each time you choose to spend time reacting to one story, there's time gone out of your day where you're not cultivating something that is personal to you. Because you're dealing with negative things, right? Things that you wish weren't in existence and weren't occurring in your country, okay? So my solution, and I hate to be saying things to people of this is what you should do, because I've no idea what you should do, because I don't know you. I just give like a totally generic or general bit of advice, right? Follow something that speaks to your heart. It might be the negative thing, right? And the reason why it might impact on you so much is because it's clashing with a value you have, right? So if you're totally dismayed about the prevalence of violence, the growing intensity of violence in the country, it means that you value safety and security, right? There's an antagonism of opposites going on there, and that's what's stirring you to react to these things, right? So every evil you see out there, it will bring out in you a value or a virtue that you adhere to, or you want to adhere to, that you value, you cherish, a God of yours, right? Follow that. Follow that. If it means that you sign up for whatever it is, like start your own security firm around the town, or just start pacing the roads at night, making sure that people aren't in bother, right? Start that sort of a thing. People will follow people who are dedicated to something, right? If they see someone and their values are in line with what that person's vision is, they will go and help that person, right? So that would be my solution. It's not a solution to totally click fingers and bang, all the bad stuff is gone. It's going to take a while to get out of this. And it's going to take individuals who are dedicated to whatever private cause they have in their own life. They don't even need to speak about what that is. You can tell by what a person continuously does, right? what their values are in life. So that's how you fell the big oak of rottenness, right? It's not by standing against it and pushing, right? You can't push a tree over unless the thing is dead, right? And there's an argument to be made that this whole clutching of power in the country is certainly in its death throes. Otherwise, it wouldn't be lashing out as nonsensically as it is, right? So the thing is already dying, right? All we have to do as individuals is dedicate ourselves to something positive that combats negative. Because people are saying there's a lot of talking. What's the action? That is the action, right? Because ultimately, if you look at it this way, if we are after forming our own tight-knit communities, right, where we all work, we all share work, we all give each other work, we all feed each other, we all nourish each other, right? Government is no business. We've no business with a government. The reason why we're in such bother is we've become totally dependent to the idea of government. That has become our God, right? So we're in the process here of Israel, right? He who grapples, he who wrestles with God, right? That's what we're doing, right? There's a shift in values that needs to occur here. People, because the response then from some people is just clear out the government and put in new people. Right, but you're still in the same situation. You might get good people in there, but the potential for that to turn rotten with corruption is always there, right? So any wholesale solution to this would be a total minimizing of government. But that will never occur so long as we're atomized as total individuals and we're not following something that is creative and imaginative, right? And nourishing and self-sustaining. The more self-sufficient and self-sustaining we are as a people, the less potential there is for government to get involved in our things, because we'd say we actually don't need anything from you, right? So do I have a solution to end all of these things outside of what's going on geopolitically, right? It is that. Get heavily invested in whatever it is that means everything to you in life and move on that instead of in reaction to the negative things that are happening. Move out of a place of love for something in your life, right? And that will move mountains itself. And not only that, but it will inspire people. Because Irish people, they're scared, right? They're scared. That's why they refuse to look at reality, because they're terrified of it. And that's fine. That brings its own problems, but that's fine. We can understand what it is, right? Because the amount of people that are in total agreement with everything that's going on, I haven't met one. I've never met one. Once you start talking to them, they'll go, yeah, look, that's terrible and that's grand. But they're in agreement intellectually. But in terms of moving in that act, moving from the heart against something or for something, they're not there yet. They need to be led, right? Because you see it again, and this is a great example. I say a few things about Conor McGregor, and people are saying, oh, well, we need someone better than him to lead. I'm not on about anyone leading. I'm on about backing him if he's passionate, if he puts the action in to back up the words that he's been speaking. If he doesn't, then fine, you stop listening, right? But so long as someone is at least moving in that direction, back them. As long as you're in line with the values that they're speaking for, right? So that's the solution. It's you. It's you. If it means going and standing outside the guard station with all the stories of the things that have happened, calling in saying, what are you doing to make sure that this doesn't happen here? What's your recruitment process? Are you taking on volunteer guards? Can I volunteer for that? I'd like to keep my streets safe, right? Are you doing that? Because the natural rebuttal to that then is, I wouldn't get involved with them because they're all X, Y, and Z. Grand. But there's a solution. If safety is what you want, start a security company, right? Volunteer security company. Off you go. Just walk the pavements, right? Get like-minded people. Start working out outside. Get strong with your brothers, essentially, your Irish brothers. Start working out in public. Because that serves two functions. It gets you better, it bandies people around you, and it also sends a message to people that are contemplating doing horrible things to people that, hang on a second, there's a group of men over there that look pretty fit and are getting there. I'll think twice about doing that around here. There's loads of things you can do. If you're into cooking, start bake sales, right? Have little community gatherings where you have open barbecues. The weather's turning. It's going to be that time soon, right? Start doing these things. Start story time hour. Not drag queen, but start story time hour. Tell stories. Meet up with people in your village and town and community and start resuscitating the history of that place. What history have you got to add? I'm from Clonmel. What do I know about it when I'm speaking to someone from Clonmel? What can we all share and pool together? What is this town about that made me? Where have I come from? What have I learned from it? What has it got to teach me still? These are all things that all of us can do, right? There's your solutions.